we have to talk about what's going on with the software stock sell-off, which means we have to talk about Claude, we have to talk about managed agents, and we have to talk about the Mythos model. Now, since I've been gone, in the stock market, there's been a lot of things going on. You got Trump, you got the war with Iran, the Strait of Hormuz situation, gas prices, and inflation. We're supposed to be having a ceasefire as of the time of this recording, but I don't necessarily know how that's going to go. Right now, the market has been doing well over the past few days, but we'll see how that plays off. I think that's going to resolve itself. But right now, I want to talk about what's going on in software. Palantir fell like 20% over the past couple days. They're at 130. Microsoft's getting hit up. Salesforce, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Networks, you name it. Anything in the software stack is getting hit up. And the excuse they're using, the reason they're selling everything off is because of these new Claude updates. Claude dropped managed agents. Claude's announcing they have a model called Mythos. So first, let's talk about Mythos. What they're saying about Mythos is a model that sits on top of the highest level models they got right now, which would be Opus 4.6 leading, followed by Sonnet and Haiku. So as someone who's been vibe coding and building things, those models are the best we have yet. When you build an app with that, it gets it done end to end. As someone who's non-technical, as a non-computer programmer, is doing a lot of the messy work that was stopping a lot of people from trying out vibe coding, trying out app building in the past. It's leading to a lot of job displacement we're seeing. I think Anthropic has got up to $30 billion in revenue from 9. And I was listening to one person say it. He said it best. He said that kind of growth can't be achieved by replacing software budgets and seat budgets alone. That kind of growth can only be replaced by replacing labor. So people are definitely starting to lose their jobs from these models, in the corporate sector. But what's going on is they're saying they have a model that's even better than that called Mythos. They're saying it's so good they can't release it because it could probably hack into almost any software we've got out right now. They're actually giving Mythos to a lot of the big software companies early so they can build ways to patch it to make sure it doesn't get hacked when it finally drops. And needless to say, if it's that good, if it's that much better, it could lead to more job displacement. So they're taking their time on actually releasing this one. That on top of these managed agents. The managed agents feature is a big update because, we've had OpenClaw, we've got Claude Code, we've got all these what they call agent harnesses coming out. These are allowing your agents to run tasks end to end. They're allowing you to get things done automatically. Like, for example, on this channel, which I'll be bringing you guys in the next few videos, I've been working on an autonomous version of my trading desk with my agents. I've showed you my agents. I've showed you some of their calls, Pam, Bob, Chris, etc. But now they're making tools where instead of me reaching out to them, as in, okay, I show them the chart, I show them price action, I ask them what they think of price action, what needs to be done, what do you think of this news? These new agents can actually automatically search the internet, automatically pull the data, do the setups, answer the questions I would normally ask, but bring it to me first thing in the morning when I wake up. That's being used in all types of businesses. It's being used in marketing. It's being used in sales, law, finance, you name it. These type of workflows and systems are being used. So a lot of people are thinking that this is going to be able to replace the current software companies that we have, which is hence the vibe coding sell-off. For example, Michael Burry's quote words after he deleted them were Anthropic is going to take Palantir's lunch. Now, my rebuttal to some of that is, do I believe that Claude, vibe coding AI is going to change the face of some companies? Yes, I've been short on Salesforce for quite a while now. Because certain companies, if their moat's not super, super deep, people will start making competitors. People will start trying to vibe code against some of these companies. But at the same time, what I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on is how integrated and how deep the moats of some of these companies are. Palantir, for example. One of the reasons we picked Palantir in the beginning at the $7, $8, $10 range was because they have what's called an ontology. An ontology is a data map of people, relationships, businesses, business practices, proprietary data. These are things that these large language models don't have access to, and are already in businesses and are extremely sticky to pull out. A lot of people who are on the bull side of this situation, thinking the vibe code is not going to take everything, they're using terms like pulling out some of these systems would be the equivalent of pulling teeth. Pulling out some of these systems would be the equivalent of pulling out the nervous system from a living body. You can't do it, or it would be extremely hard. So what I feel like a lot of people are missing out on, and what can be our opportunity, is yes, some of these companies are at risk, like Salesforce, basic CRM providers. I don't think they're going to go bankrupt, but I do think they may lose market share that they're not going to get back. Whereas other companies like the Microsofts and Palantirs of the world, and I would even take a chance on a company like ServiceNow, they're too deeply integrated. So a company like ServiceNow might even end up being the control layer for these very same agents. So I feel like selling off some of these stocks is actually kind of unwise and not looking at the bigger picture. So where do we go from here? What do I think of this? I think now's the time to look at the software companies you're investing in, see if they have a real moat. If they have a real moat, it's time to double down. I like Palantir falling. I like Microsoft falling. I feel like ServiceNow could be one of the opportunities of the year if this thing continues like this. And also, I feel like every investor really needs to start paying attention to AI now, if not using it. You need to see what's going on with Claude. You need to see why it's so serious. I'm hearing behind the scenes, Claude's valued at like trillions of dollars, $7 trillion. OpenAI is trying to go public at $1 trillion. These are going to probably be some of the highest valuation IPOs in stock market history. I probably won't even be buying either of these at IPO because it's going to be extremely overpriced. But what's going on here is very important. I feel like 2026 is the year to separating the winners from the losers, both in AI and in the real world with people using AI. I was listening to one kid, he's like 17 years old. He built an app with AI, and he's using agents to market and sell the app. He built an app, and what he said he did was he has an agent scanning Reddit constantly, looking for his competitors. He's looking for people who are complaining about his competitors' apps. When the agent finds someone on Reddit complaining about his competitors' apps, he has his agent send them a link to try his app. That plus him talking on Twitter is how he says he's growing his app. I think he has his first few hundred users. He's making $5,000 a month, and the thing is growing. I've been seeing examples of that, both smaller and bigger. They're also starting to come out with what's called AI agent companies. There's an AI company called Paperclip, and there are a lot of competitors to this Paperclip. What it is you have 3 levels. You have the intelligence layer. That's the agents that I've showed you on this channel, like Pam, Chris, Bob. They know about the stock market. They know about trading. They know about technical analysis. So I can send them a chart, or I can ask them a question about the stock market, and I can get an answer that's way more detailed and based on my personal process than like a generic chat GPT prompt. Now, on top of that, we've got the harnesses, the OpenClaws, the Claude Codes of the world. Those are the things that are allowing these agents to run autonomously. Instead of me asking you about the chart every morning, first thing in the morning, you go grab the chart. You go grab the latest headlines. Go grab the latest Federal Reserve data. Then give me a game plan when I wake up. That's how those are running. And the newest layer that we're coming out with on top of that hasn't necessarily hit the mainstream is these paperclip style companies. You've got AI agent companies. The way they look at it is when you hire an employee at a corporate job, a lot of times they give that employee its own computer. That's what an agent is. An agent is a digital employee that you give its own computer. So with that being said, once you give an employee its own computer, it can go out into the world and do things, but it still needs a company. You don't give an employee a computer and he sits outside. You put him in a company with a CEO, a CFO, marketers, video editors, etc. That's the next layer they're working on. With that layer, the thing is, eventually it's going to get to the point where you can build it out or have a business. You can tell the AI about your business, and other than putting up the money for the ads, for the marketing, for your API costs, the agents can just go out and run the business on their own. That's the new thing we're working on. Like, they're going to have it where you can give your agent an app. The agent's going to go out and market the app. The agent's going to go out and look for the competitors, make improvements, add features to your app, all while you do something else. And that does have implications on a lot of these stocks out here. So what I would advise people to do is look into the stocks that work with these companies, not against these companies. That's why I still like Palantir, because Palantir and Claude actually have a partnership with the government. When Maduro got kidnapped, for example, that was a collaboration between Claude and Palantir. It's not one without the other, and I think that's what a lot of these analysts are missing. They're missing moats like the ontology. Palantir has an ontology. They've got all your data. They've got relationships, contracts, business practices. They got things that can't just be vibe coded away. So I look at this as one of the major opportunities of the year, this sell-off right here, to get involved in some of the best software stocks and some of the best AI stocks as we wait for Claude and OpenAI to go public. And that's really what I think we need to do in the stock market. Now, in the real world, I feel like everybody needs to be getting more in tune with these models, because we're getting to the point where if you're not using them, you're leaving a lot of things on the table. Like, a lot of people are using AI to like make their thumbnails, talk to, write basic things, but it's getting to the point where you can have the agents running automatically for you. You can have them clipping your content for you. You can have them auto answering your DMs, auto answering your emails, auto running your business. So, you know, I'm working on a version of that. I'm working on an autonomous trading desk for you guys, the subscribers, where it can help you guys get a lot of your stock information automatically, get it condensed, get you what you need. Businesses are working on versions of this that are going to be able to just run their processes automatically. And the people who are doing it are starting to win hand over fist, because they're getting more done than the average person. I once heard someone say, in a few years, someone who's dead serious with AI, the level of work they're going to be done, that person's going to get done, it's almost going to look like non-human. But anyway, that's just a little quick talk of what's going on with the software sell-off, with SaaS stocks, with Claude, with the updates. And, you know, like the video, subscribe to the video, hype the video, you know, leave your opinions in the comments. And I'm going to be getting you guys in the next video. I'm going to be showing you some of the software stuff I've been building while I've been gone. Show you some of the things I've been doing with AI. I'm going to continue to tell you what I think about stocks, which stocks I think will benefit from this. And just stay subscribed to Printer Gang Investments. I got a lot coming.